It's the 22nd of October and I'm Tom Glass and welcome to The Roast. Tonight, scientists have warned that the shutting down of a comet watching program in Australia means Earth is now in danger. We'd like to say thank you for choosing to spend your last 10 minutes on the planet with us instead of your friends and family. We'll have all the tips and tricks on surviving the impending extinction right after this. I'm joking, of course. We have absolutely no plan B. So make peace with your gods. Here is Mark Humphries with the headlines. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. Sorry, Tom.
An Australian teenager has appeared in a video from the terrorist group ISIS. So to all the parents out there who are annoyed their teenager stays up too late and doesn't eat enough veggies, it could be slightly worse. The teenager in question is believed to be 17-year-old Sydney-sider Abdullah El-Mir. In case you're not sure which one he is, he's the one who's too young to grow a beard.
This message I deliver to you. Bring every nation that you wish to us. Bring every nation that you want to come and fight us. Whether it's 50 nations or 50,000 nations, it means
Did he just say 50,000 nations? There aren't 50,000 nations in the world. Shh, you're ruining the video. I said this would happen if we put a teenager in charge. I don't think I've seen a grosser example of propaganda featuring a teenager since someone forced Manny to do this. El-Mir left his home in June, reportedly telling his mother he was leaving on a fishing trip. To be fair, ISIS is kind of like a fishing trip. It's a bunch of guys sitting around talking shit and killing things. The teen ran away with a 16-year-old friend, but their trip was cut short when his friend was intercepted by his father while he was en route to Iraq. It's understood he was handed a severe grounding, which the teen describes as so unfair I wasn't even going to be a terrorist. So, just to recap on Australia's most dangerous teenagers, this is ISIS. This is Five Sauce. Get to know their faces as they threaten your way of life. Channel 10 and Fairfax Media are reportedly in talks about a merger. It's the most promising potential merger since the Titanic and the Hindenburg. Though if I know anything about Channel 10, they don't really have a great track record when it comes to finding a partner. The two companies should be a good match. Just look what Fairfax Media had to say about Channel 10 this week.
Channel 10's The Project lacks substance, sting.
Though I understand that could just be negging. The common link is Australia's richest woman, Gina Rinehart, seen here shaking off the fat cat image by hanging with the common folk. Miss Rinehart owns a 10% share in Channel 10 and a 15% share in Fairfax, meaning collectively she has about $5 worth of shares. However, it's understood Miss Rinehart is planning to step down from the Channel 10 board, presumably to spend more time with her family in court. Former 10 investor Lawrence Friedman thinks a merger is unwise, telling Fairfax Media that Channel 10 could turn its financial woes around by becoming a hard right-wing news channel a la Fox, meaning Andrew Bolt might have to finally stop pushing his leftist agenda. For The Roast, I'm Mark Humphries.
Thank you, Mark. Well, they say ignorance is bliss, and if that's true, then everyone in the Southern Hemisphere is about to kick back, put up their feet and drink in a whole lot of blissy goodness.
The only dedicated comet spotting program in the Southern Hemisphere has lost its funding.
Yep, the only one, because there's only room for one group of galaxy guardians, and your average Aussie astronomer just can't hope to compete with the casual charm of Chris Pratt.
The Earth has been left with a huge blind spot for potentially devastating comet strikes.
And just a reminder that objects in our blind spot are closer than they appear, which means this new galactic blind spot is a big concern.
There could be something hurtling towards us right now, and we wouldn't know about it.
Hurtling towards us right now! Oh my God, that sounds awful! You know what? That wasn't so bad. God, no f***ing hammers, guys! Jesus! Now, the comet watching program was originally funded by NASA, but when the funding dried up, appeals to the Australian government and local mining companies for a lifeline also went unheeded. But I mean, mining companies would have a conflict of interest there. They love holes in the ground, and an asteroid to Earth would be doing them a favour. So Australia has once again shirked an opportunity to help prevent the devastation of life on Earth. Which means it's time to check in with Jazz Twemlow, who's been keeping an eye on how we're all gonna die. This is Apocalypse Watch.
Thank you, Tom. And turning to our leaderboard of ways it could all end, we see top spots are going to nuclear war, superbugs, and climate change. Zombie apocalypse was poised to make the top 5, but given that we're constantly gawking at our smartphones while completely brain dead, it seems like one's already happened and we've somehow managed to successfully integrate it into our daily lives.
Oh, Candy Crush.
But now, thanks to a lack of science funding, comets are climbing up the charts. So that's great, isn't it? As if it's not terrifying enough living on a planet where the dominant species is addicted to massive explosions and huffing carbon, we're now not going to be able to spot the one apocalyptic event that isn't our fault. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Jazz. And since we can no longer detect these asteroids, not only will they wipe out all life on Earth, they'll also wipe out 90% of the plot of all disaster movies.
So, you know Alan, he told me...
You know, I hear that cost $800 billion to make, and it is all there on the screen. So if this is potentially as dangerous as these astronomers are making out, why aren't they getting funded?
The problem was that government still saw comet and asteroid spotting as an academic pursuit, rather than an early warning system.
Yeah, we all know this government historically doesn't have a fond view of academic pursuits. And since we also hate people who arrive here without a visa, maybe what astronomy needs is a rebrand. You know, rather than, oh, please give us money so we can discover the mysteries of the universe and possibly help us avoid extinction. What they really need is this.
If you come here by hurtling through space, you will never make a crater in Australia.
Yeah, that's how you solve an issue in Australia. We'll be right back.
Have you ever been on Earth and looked up into space and thought, wow, that's beautiful? Or have you ever been in space and looked down at Earth and thought, I'm gonna smash the shit out of that blue marble thing? We'd love to hear about it. At the Roast TV or hashtag RoastTV.
Now, the Siding Spring Observatory has been through a lot recently. Last year it narrowly escaped being destroyed by bushfires, its funding has been reduced, and now it's going to get hit by an asteroid. Probably, I mean, no one can tell anymore. But whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Siding Spring could be forced to shut down due to light pollution from a series of planned coal seam gas developments in the area.
Yeah, and that's a problem when, like Batman or Bruce Wayne developing photographs of himself as Batman, you need perfect darkness to do your job. For example, just look at this extraordinary photo of the August supermoon. Spectacular. Except that's not the supermoon, that is. The brighter light is just a gas flare from test drilling in Narrabri. You know what? Maybe we should look at mining not as the problem for asteroid prevention, but as part of the solution. See, if we dig enough, the Earth will eventually be such a small target, they'll just pass us right on by. You can't explode something we've already destroyed, you stupid comet. Come and get me, you...
Flying through space, what did we expect? Sooner or later we were bound to connect. Both eyes closed, it had to be a surprise. But don't feel too bad, Earth, every planet dies.